people, we almost are at 40 people already in the room. So with that, I will start by saying thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Gail Powley. I'm with Technology Alberta and a volunteer in the rainforest. I'm very pleased to have with me today, Peter LaFontaine as co-host, who we were just getting to know the early attendees, and people were asking Peter about what's new with him and Rainforest Energy, which is really exciting. So I do recommend everyone look into Rainforest Energy. So with that, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Rainforest Lunch Without Lunch session today. I will share my screen in a minute to do the standard PowerPoint. And really excited that we have some amazing individuals representing JAMH today. So I'm using the right presentation, but I have it midstream. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Traditionally, Albertans have cultivated their ideas in established systems. Inputs that don't fit these systems are weeded out. Opportunities for growth are missed. But now, Albertans want a dynamic landscape that can evolve organically, like a rainforest. At Rainforest Alberta, we believe a culture of trust is the fertile soil where ideas grow. Our budding innovation ecosystem is a network of relationships pulling each other up as they push forward in their own field. Trust breaks down barriers. An open, inclusive network increases collaborative innovation. Successful breakthroughs inspire new ideas. A cycle begins. Rainforest Alberta is a movement to amplify trust by cultivating honesty, inclusion, and accountability. How? Our social contract holds us accountable to demonstrate trust across the province. We meet to have honest conversations around collaboration. This leads to more inclusive spaces for everyone to fearlessly build new ideas together. By raising the standard of trust, Alberta's ideas, talent, and resources can be evergreen. Visit rainforestab.ca to sign the social contract and start growing together.
Outstanding. So Peter, I'll let you talk about the 6 pillars.
Thanks very much and welcome everybody. Keep your videos on if you don't mind and wave your hands, and you can dance if you like to. So the culture here within the organization is a big part of the pillars. That's really the idea of working together, collaborating, sharing. We're made up of leaders, and all of you can be a leader. Some of us are leaders in our own right in a subject matter, or sometimes it's a leader in just the way you act. Resources includes things like the funding, technologies that are available, resources. Engaged activities is really one example of what we're doing now, but then there's many engaged activities after work, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. There's special interest groups that have gotten together. If you want to see what that's all about, you look on our Slack channel. Policy and infrastructure is really what it is that makes a solid innovation ecosystem. And I can say that it never moves fast enough for me, but the policy and infrastructure is everything from the government regulations and policies, and our ability to influence that in a positive way. And then role models is basically people that are actually out there doing what they say and are taking a positive role model figurehead for the organization. So those are the pillars. Again, tips on making this day work for you. Number 1, come back. Don't just show up one day and say, hey, I did it and I had a rainforest session and now you're better. I think you need many, many sessions like this. It's almost like meeting with your psychologist. You actually have to spend a little bit of time to dig in and understand who are and what's going on. So keep your video on, ask questions. We're going to get into breakout sessions, and if you do have a question, just put your hand up and then we'll keep an eye out for that. And we're recording these so that you can actually go back in afterwards, and you can even save the chat window because we chat, and then you can save that and you can see who's connecting to who, etc. Click.
Yep, I'm there. The role model social contract. Do you see that?
Yeah. So is that our theme today, is role model?
Correct. We focus on one element of the social contract, and today the focus is role model.
All
And
right.
look at who's talking about this. Perfect for you, Peter.
Crazy. There it is. Just do what you say you're going to do, stay engaged and involved, help other people. I mean, like, you can't believe what it does for your brain to actually reach across and help somebody else and not ask for anything. And that's a big part of the role model aspect of this, is actually leaning in, participating, and not expecting something out of this right away. Something, think about what you can do to lean in and help. And that's the role model.
Outstanding. Okay. Well, again, Peter, I can't think of a better co-host for today. And in fact, this is talk about a giving culture. So Peter, as usual, dialed in for today, and I asked him to step up to stage, and he was overjoyed to do so. So thank you, Peter.
I think I've been at 225 meetings, Gail.
Outstanding. Role model to the nth degree. Love that. So everyone, I'm very pleased to introduce to you today JAM, in all capitals, JAHM, an exciting organization created by engineering students, and I had promised them that I would let them introduce themselves because it's much more exciting to hear it from them directly. So Huda, Maggie, I'll let you introduce yourself and your organization. You choose who goes first.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us today with lunch without lunch. My name is Maggie. I'm here with Huda. We're 2 out of 4 co-founders of JAM. Our 2 other members are Jackson and Alec, but they couldn't make it today. We basically like. Should I go into the presentation yet? Oh man, I organized.
We love your energy, by the way. We love your energy. Yeah. Everyone's giving you a thumbs up, so you can't do anything wrong. So yeah, introduce yourself individually and then your company.
Okay. I'll introduce myself first, and then Huda, you introduce yourself. But I'm a 3rd-year mechanical engineering student at the University of Calgary. I've been working with my friends on JAM since our 1st year of school, and that's how we met each other too. I really like cats in the background here, and I got to one thing I'll go in, or I'll touch on. Or not really. Okay, I don't need to touch on it, but basically, I was really happy that I got to make the JAM brand because my aesthetic is like, I really like bright colors, and they're like, Maggie, you can do whatever you want with it. And then, yeah, anyways, Huda, please go ahead.
Awesome. I don't know if I can bring that kind of excitement, but my name's Huda. I'm in my 3rd year of software engineering at U of C. And with JAM, I'm kind of like the tech lead. I work with the interns really closely, and we're kind of excited to share with you, how we go about training them and kind of how we look to them as being their role models as their first kind of stepping stone into the tech and dev world. So yeah, Maggie, did you want to go about over like JAM, and then we can hop in?
Well done, Huda. You bring our theme role models in. Well done. Over to you, Maggie. Share the screen.
Oh yes. Also, Huda's way better at being concise than I am. I get overexcited, so it gets kind of hard for me to stay on track sometimes, but we'll get through it today. Okay, guys, so today what we wanted to talk about was what we were really thinking about, how we could make like a presentation that's exciting and bring value to the community, and then also like share a little bit about what we do. And I guess one of the things that we thought we would be able to speak really passionately to is how we've been able to create our team and our culture in a unique way that we're happy with, and everyone that passes through JAM is always excited by and happy about as well. So I guess just to start, like, our team, we're JAM. This is a picture of all of us. We were in the accelerator last year, and then someone took a picture of us here, and this is my favorite picture of us because we hadn't seen each other a lot throughout the pandemic. Like, we were working online for the whole 2 years. And what JAM does is we're a one-of-a-kind software house, and we're focused on impact-first approach to addressing sustainability and climate change. And our mission is to empower decision makers to build an informed and sustainable world by democratizing the availability of true information. So this all came about because we were thinking about the decision-making process and how everything you do ties back to the information that you're given. So whether that's visual, it's numerical, it's something that you've read like 2 weeks ago that kind of like influences what you think. And like, okay, that's like for us in our day-to-day lives. But when it comes to bigger decisions, like having to do with like things that impact the environment or have a bottom line or something like that, those are more higher stake decisions. And sometimes, and something that we learned that when we first started out is that some people some of these decisions aren't being made with the whole picture in mind. And that's something that we wanted to work towards as a company to like make better, I guess. So like, anyways, in the past, we've built a few different things. The first thing we built together as a team was our fake news extension. Our fake news extension, that was in 2020. So actually, I should backtrack a bit. So that were founded in 2020. We incorporated in September 2020. We got to take part in Platform Calgary's Summer Incubator program. And after that, it sort of like snowballed from there. So fake news extension was our first thing. But then in September, we got the opportunity to make a sustainability and climate indicator tracker to help companies and consultants understand their ESG metrics and other things related to sustainability. And we've had a few Fortune 500 companies use our software or this particular tool, like TC Energy, Brookfield Renewable, Enbridge, to name a few. And this was like through like a partnership that we had. So that was really exciting for us when we first started out. And our current tool that we're working on right now is called Carbon Lytics. And it's still being worked on. It's still like, it's been our main focus, but it's basically an international carbon policy database. And it's our stepping stone to making an automated carbon project developer. So this has everything to do with like carbon credits, or I guess like we're figuring out the big picture of it, but that's what we're working on right now. And one of the best things that we've built over the last 1.5 years of our operation, and something that we're really proud about, is our culture and our team. So we call it the Jamily because we were like, oh, it sounds like such a fun pun to say family Jamily, you know. So anyways, we work with a lot of retraining programs as well as youth subsidy programs and post-secondaries, since we're mostly bootstrapped. So having those resources have been really awesome. But also because we've worked with so many individuals from different backgrounds with different levels of understanding technically, but also like some of them, like this is when they come to us, it's their first job in the tech ecosystem or with anything to do with like impact technology or like that sort of stuff. And also a lot of them came from a background in oil and gas. It's really important for us that we kind of give them that first like wonderful experience that makes them stay in tech and doesn't make them go, oh my gosh, I hate startups, I never want to work in them again. So this is our team. We're really proud of them. There's 19 of them have come through JAM in total, and our alumni have gone on to work with like larger companies like Facebook, Adobe, you know, all those things. We're really proud of that because that's our talent incubation program thing, which we'll go into more. But basically, the focus of this presentation is to talk about how we do it, how we provide a great environment for them, how we help them like get to a point where they're confident with their abilities, and also how we manage all of this being bootstrapped. And basically like the difference between like, I bet, okay, so some of you might be thinking, wow, so you guys don't have any full-time employees? And that's because we're bootstrapped. And also you're probably thinking, but then if you also only have interns, how do you get any stuff done? And that's also another thing as well. And also, how do they get value out of it? This is how we do it. Sorry, I'm a bit jumping everywhere. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to hop in at any time and unmute. So the first thing is community. So we work with organizations that give career access to technology, to tech careers. So when we first started out, this organization reached out to us called Tech Careers Manpower Program. So shout out to them. They basically are a government-funded retraining program for individuals that have worked in completely different careers before they are starting their stepping stone or their first step into technology. So like a lot of the people we've worked with were laid off oil and gas individuals, like during like when COVID started and stuff. So that that they help them get work experience, and we're one of their partner companies. So we take them on and give them like a great experience and teach them how to code, teach them what it's like to be in like a development team, or they already know how to code, but now they're in a team and now they learn how to team code. We also work with the University of Calgary since they have a lot of student programs. Venture for Canada, I'm sure you guys have heard of it before. I've probably had one of those presentations here with Rainforest, and also Lighthouse Labs, which is a developer boot camp. And they also provide work experience at the end of the boot camp as well by with like the DS4Y program, which is like a government funded subsidy program to help smaller businesses hire interns, but also the interns get a paid work experience as well. We don't do unpaid work experiences. That is unethical. So that's the first part that's important for us. And the second part is our hands-on development, training, and management. And I'll let Huda talk to that a bit more. So Huda, how do you have a short-term intern and then they're like, they don't know anything about coding, and then you turn them into a rock star? How do you do it?
I think a lot of it comes from kind of starting off slow with, we always have to make sure that the team is on the same stage. We have to make sure that they understand the tech that we're working with, that, they're all coming from different backgrounds, whether that's, this is their first time on a tech team, and, learning how to code as a team, learning the, best practices, and all of that comes with practice and training. So, we start off with tutorials, we start off with giving them a rundown of our tech stack, what we've learned so far, constant support. We're university students, so like we'll be in a class and then we'll hop off, step into a call, give them a rundown, being always available for support. I know we follow the Agile or Scrum methodology, so it's always quick turnaround, and we're always able to, push out a project, push out a feature, and then kind of review. And our retrospectives is kind of where the team can, every team that we've gotten in every group has been different. And so, over time, we've kind of gotten the hang of making sure that, we have to tailor the way that we teach and the way that the scrums are led based off of the team that we have. And so kind of just like being flexible and changing it up. So we're always, open to comments and feedback, and, how do they best learn? Everyone's a different type of learner. And so that hands-on development and always being available for support, where everyone's at their own pace and learning. And so when we have people with different backgrounds, different ages, all walks of life, it's important that everyone learns in a different way depending on where they're from. And so the availability and, giving them tools and resources to learn on their own. So I think a lot of that comes from understanding the team and understanding the individual, and then taking the time to, teach them. And then in a short, like we've had people only on for like two months, we've had 6 months. And in that time, they've all been able to, get right into the tech stack, start being beneficial. And with so many different hands on one dev project, it can get really messy. So it's important to, to have development practices in place, and to have, safeguards in place, so that there's always times where, things can go wrong and someone can push a bug to the prod, and then our production goes down just with like a new team as they're always learning. So having those safeguards in place with development and ensuring that, the standards and the guidelines are always set is important. But I think, yeah, overall training and management, no matter the team, is always possible.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you implementing low code, no code type tools into your training so that you can take people that are not necessarily a strong coder type, but somebody that's a domain expert into that conversation?
Low code, no code. I've never heard of that.
Like machine learning and artificial intelligence. There's a university, Calgary professors, Kwame and Padma, and they actually have got a product called Brain Toy. So it's a Python development platform that allows people that are not necessarily coding experts to get in and work with this stuff, and it provides documentation, and you can go in there and put your own algorithms. So I guess the answer is no.
No,
But
that's
Peter's
good.
been a champion of those type of technologies as well. They have been featured on the rainforest, and there are so many different technologies out there. So it's
Oh, yeah.
exciting to see that's a possibility, and it's exciting to see what you have in place, Huda. So we'll
And
turn it
those,
back over.
and those guys are right there at U of C as well, by the way. They're professors.
That's amazing. I'll definitely look into that. I didn't know that was a possibility. Thanks, Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Welcome.
All right, I need a Huda to tone me down a bit. Now I'm more calm. So the third thing that's important as part of our internship program is the individual support. So while you have the intern, they're coming in, they have no experience, like little knowledge about technology. You have Huda and Alec who take care of the technical side of things. And then you have also another important component of bringing on any person on a team. And I feel like this is something that is missing from larger companies. Like I've been on internships and I don't feel like even I get this sort of support, but something we implement in our training program is professional development, technical development, and personal development. So what this means is when you bring someone new on your team, you sit down with them and you sort of like gauge like, okay, where are you at? And let's figure out your goals and where you want to be at. And when you're like a larger company, you can keep people on for long periods of time. You're able to like do that over like the course of however long their tenure is with you. But with us, because our interns have set amounts of times that they're with us, that's when the goal setting is really important. So they come in, they're like, hey, like I just moved to Canada like 3 months ago. I have no idea, and I want to do tech, but I have no idea what tech is. Here's one of my professional development goals. I want to learn what I want to do and whether I'm interested in it or not. And then what we'll do is we'll build like a program for them to help them learn about the different things that they're sort of like they already have an aptitude for. So they'll be like, I'm kind of interested in health tech and I'm kind of interested in like automation in the oil and gas industry because, I've been working in oil and gas, but I don't know what that looks like. So what we'll do is we'll be like, here are so many resources and we'll guide you through them so that you can learn what you have for you as a future in tech and in Canada. So like that's sort of an example of it. Technical development is something that Hood and Alec take care of. So like they want to learn how to they're really interested in natural language processing, for example. So we'll give them some access to that, whether it be through our sprint planning. So when Hood and Alec like are doing something, they're like, oh, this one has some NLP stuff related to it. They'll be like, okay, let's assign this to this person since they told us in their goal setting meetings with Maggie that they want to work on this. So that's sort of like how we kind of personalize their work experience with us as well. And when it comes to personal development, some people like confidence is something that I've seen as a huge thing when people are first getting into the tech industry. Some startups kind of like there's like a work hard, play hard mentality sometimes, and sometimes there's like a, okay, here's all the stuff you need to learn, figure it out, and then people have like different ways they go about it. And there's also the confidence on being on a new team as well. So that's like a mixed bag. It depends on what the person has, but being there for them and working with them on their personal development goals, whether that's like confidence, they want to work on their public speaking, they don't feel confident searching for jobs. That is something that we also work closely with them on. So we work with interns, they're going to look for a full-time job after, and they have families and mortgages, so that's something that is like really important. So what we'll do is resume reviews, we'll do job application sessions where we'll sit down with them for an hour or two just so they have like a buddy to like work together with, and like cover letter reviews, that sort of thing. So that's another way that we provide individual support to our interns. And honestly, when I was an intern at another company, I didn't get any of this. And I think if all interns had this, then, like everyone would have a job. Or, okay, maybe that's a bad statement, I take that back, but they would feel more confident and prepared to go about their job search and like their career, the future, So that's our third thing. The fourth thing is something that we really care about, and that's just having strong culture fundamentals. So what that means for JAM and how we've created sort of like a space that, so backtracking, we've been basically online operations since we were founded, since we were incorporated. We've never had an office. We've never even there's some people we haven't even met in person. And sometimes with people that work in a company, they feel like culture, it has to be like physical, it has to be in person. I need to be in the office, I need to see people's energy around me. But what we found is that culture doesn't, like, you don't need the kombucha or the beer on tap. Like, those are nice perks, but like that doesn't mean culture. Culture is how you like act to like your team and stuff, or like what you do together and like the values that you uphold. So putting our mission and vision and like why we do what we do in front of everything, like all of like, well, they're like, why are we coding this? We're like, this is why. They're like, oh my gosh, that's why. And that's why we want to like code this, you know, like that's something that we do to like make people care about our culture and be part of it. Open communication, like you got to go pick up your kid and you'll miss all the meetings this afternoon. All right, go ahead, you know, like understandable, just let us know and then take your day off. Like same, so open time off policy. I found that, or something that I've learned while also working at other companies, is open time off policy can mean different things. Sometimes people will say, you get open time off policy, and then no one will take that time off policy because they feel like if I like, it's just something said, it's not something that they can do. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever felt that pressure at their like full-time job or anything, but definitely something that people have mentioned before to me, like that have been on the team. So like, if you want to take time off and you have a reasonable reason, you know, do it, you know. Online hours versus hard working hours. So this is something that's a little bit more untraditional. I think that the general work culture is moving towards. So like, you've heard of the 9 to 5, right? But have you heard of the whatever time? The whatever time is like, basically we set like a period of time where you have to be online. I think a lot of startups do this actually, and some larger companies that I've been starting to hear about, but they just have to be online between like 1 to 4, be available for your meetings. If someone reaches out to you, okay. And then if you want to like code at like 3 a.m. in the morning, all right, that's up to you. But like, it's your schedule, as long as like you're meeting your goals, like, you know, like, or meeting the sprint goals, like it's fine, you know. And biweekly check-ins is another thing. This one ties into our individual support. So every 2 weeks we'll have a sit-down meeting, or I'll have a sit-down meeting with one of the interns. I'll be like, hey, so how's it going? How's your mental health? How's your ergonomics? How's your, like, how are you finding the team? And this is really important. And after like the internship, a lot of people have mentioned that having check-ins or like just something personal that's outside of just your work tasks, it helps them like, and if you're like a company that follows a sprint cycle, it helps them kind of like reset before they jump back into like the tasks for this sprint or something. So that's another thing that we've implemented. Journal clubs, weekly journal clubs. You pick one person on your team to present. Learning seminars, you bring in an expert from a different field and have them present, and, you know, just defining culture. But
so Maggie, just one sec. Peter has a question.
yeah, oh, sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
Okay.
Do you drink coffee?
No, I don't.
Good. Don't start.
You know what, Maggie, we're all loving this. So continue on, continue
Okay,
on.
I'm glad. I thought we were running out of time, so I skipped ahead.
Oh.
I swear, there's only 2 more minutes left. Okay.
You know what, we'll
I
make
was
the
just
time.
gonna ask you how, like, culture is a beautiful thing, and I love the come and go when you need to, and a mental health day here and there. How do you deal with slackers? Do you know what a slacker is?
Yes, we have dealt with slackers before, and it's a team. Oh wait, Huda, do you have anything to say about it first before I drone about it?
Dealing with slackers, I think it's very, with like the way that we handle, you know, team development and having sprints and scrum goals in a very easy to follow Kanban board, you can tell when there's a slacker when, you know, their in progress sprints are not moving anywhere near closer to done or testing. So I think with the way that we kind of keep track of the tasks, a slacker is kind of easy to pinpoint, and then dealing with them just comes with, you know, like, we're flexible and everything, but there's times where, you know, you need to be a bit more strict. If someone isn't able or isn't following the way, then, you know, setting up a meeting and kind of being more clear about, you know, like, yeah, you can take time off, but you also have to, you know, get the goals done. And with such like a short amount of time, it's most of the time it's been really good, but there's like one-offs where you have to have that like tough talk where you deal with the slackers.
You know, very responsible answer and
Thank you.
question. And one thing I would imagine is that the interns, they're getting some great work experience from you and coaching, and an introduction to a sector that they're trying to break into. But I imagine that also what's of value is a reference, and they need to do something impactful for you in order to for you to have a valuable reference. So really it's in their own best interest to do a good job. People don't always see it that way, but I think again you guys are doing an amazing job. So I'll just turn it back over to you on, do you give references? Is that an important part of this experience?
Definitely, yeah. I think, yeah, almost every intern for their next job has asked for a reference. And I think that definitely comes into play with performance because, they're looking for that next big thing and they're not going to want to ruin their chances and then get a bad reference.
Outstanding. Back to you, Maggie. And by the way, we all love your energy. But feel free to take an extra 5 minutes. It is not a problem.
Okay, thank you. I was looking at the time. That's why I didn't see Peter's hand up. So, okay, so where were we at? Right. So what Huda said, she's very responsible when it comes to picking at slack or talking to slackers in a respectful manner. I'm kind of like, I get emotional when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry you're feeling that way. And then anyways, Huda is way better at that. Okay, I kind of gleaned over these, but I think they're really important. And it's having like learning periods with your team. I feel like a lot of companies do this, like they have like internal hackathons or they'll have like presentations once a week or something. We also do that, but we do put a different spin on it. So we do journal clubs, and basically we say in 1 week in advance, we say, hey, Huda, it's your job to present at journal club this week. Here's a presentation template. And then Huda will go to look up whatever topic she's interested in, and then she'll make a presentation about it and present it during lunchtime to our whole team. So basically lunch without lunch, but internal. And then this helps in a few ways. A lot of people that do this, the reason why we have this is because you learn something new. And also we found that engineers seem to really like to pick stuff apart. So we'll have someone present a paper and then everyone on the team will be like, okay, but why? But why? And then the other person will say, I didn't read all the references in this paper. And also it gives them a chance to practice their public speaking and formal presentation skills in front of a group of people that is no judgment, sort of like right here, and also learning seminars. So what we'll do is we'll go on LinkedIn and we'll look for some cool people with cool jobs, and we'll be like, hey, do you have any time? Do you want to skip gift card? Can you come give us a 1 hour presentation or 30-minute presentation about your job, what you do, and like all the cool stuff you do, so that our interns can learn more about that field that you're in. And then they'll come in, and that's our learning seminar. And our interns really like that because it gives them kind of like a in-person, third-person glance at a different industry. And yeah, just finally defining what our culture is and being upfront about it. Some companies will say, yeah, we care about everybody, but then their actions speak totally different. So it's like what you say has to be done. And we also use this really cool tool, you probably heard of it, called Notion, where we keep all of our like hard stuff so people can refer to it in the future, like our mission, our values, our goals, that sort of thing. We even keep our sprints on there. But this is just an example of sort of how we communicate what our cold, hard truths are at JAM, I guess. And also because we work in sustainability a lot, we also had to come up, or we were obligated to come up with our own meaning of sustainability.
So Maggie, this is interesting. So this software is called Notion. Is that what it's called?
Notion. It's free to use. And if you're a startup, I think they give you some free credits or something. You just have to reach out to like their customer service or something. But I have never seen anything official about it. That's just what I've been told, so.
But outstanding. This looks wonderful.
Definitely look it up, guys. It's a life changer. Yeah, so thesis of my message: actions must follow your words, whether that's culture, training, or how you work with your team, right? Like, I'm going to do it. All right, do it, that sort of thing. But anyways, these organizations right here that I put at the top, they are our best community partners ever. And we love working with them. And if you're interested in giving back to like helping retrain developers, helping someone new to Canada, like start a career in tech, like these are really good programs. And also don't forget the universities either. There's a lot of internships or interns looking for jobs there as well. My only ask for today is that, Actually, no, I have a few asks. I forgot to put my asks on the slide, but please follow us on LinkedIn. We're working on our new website right now, so there's not much on it, but all updates will be through there. Secondly, something that we are looking to do in the next year is really think about what our moonshot goals are. So how we're going to like take like a company, and instead of a company, turn it into like a dream in a way, or like not a dream, but like basically we want to do cool things that benefit the earth, not meet a bottom line that is corporate, you know. So it would be cool if you could talk to other companies that sort of feel this way as well. Like you don't want to be just a company, you want to do something that impacts the world, or like that makes like the earth better or something, you know. So that's something that I would like to ask for. And Huda, did you have any asks?
No, I think those are two great asks.
So
Okay.
if you could turn your sharing off, Maggie, that'd be great. And we see if there's any other questions in the audience. And I know there's been so many comments on how much everyone enjoyed your presentation. And I'm not, and I see thumbs up there. I'll say also there are accelerators going on across the province at all times, but there's a community and social wellness accelerator, Maggie and Huda, that you may want to look at for entities, for companies that are looking to make a difference. But rainforest is a great spot for you guys to be regularly, and I can see just you have our heart. So great presentation, all these thumbs up. Peter, any words to wrap up or to?
Oh, just a very, very good presentation, and thank you very much. I would like to ask, in your carbonize element to the business, is it, and you say that you want to take everything into consideration. Do you take everything into consideration, like land, soil, carbon, temperature change, all of the various pieces? Is it a big holistic view of the environment, or are you kind of like focused on carbon?
Good. Did you want to go? Otherwise, I know what I'm gonna say.
You can go.
All right, Peter, I'm so glad you asked that, because that is like holistically, or like a holistic approach is what we've been wanting to do. So basically we have been getting hard stuff, so like documents, like government documents, like rules and regulations, that sort of thing, and putting it into a database. And then last summer we had an intern on our team, and we were exploring a new concept that we were like I don't know if we invented it. I don't think we invented it, because no one invents things anymore. They're just ideas that other people have had that you do. But we were coming up with the idea of sense of place. So a sense of place is a holistic view of what it means for an area or a location to be a location outside of like its geographical lines, but also like the temperature it has, the people there, the demographics, the like, you know, like what makes a place sort of thing. Because like how we view the mountains is different than how someone in the Sahara Desert will view mountains, or how we value water is different than how someone in like I don't know, like somewhere with little water values water. So that sort of thing is like, by holistic, that's sort of the track that we're going down. And this summer we're also working on an IoT component to our hard information database. So we'll see how that all pairs together. But yeah,
you and I are gonna connect.
Yeah, Peter, let me add you on.
I see Steve has a question. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Maggie, I got actually two now. So, you know, what'd be really interesting is that, and I think, Peter, you might be talking about this a little bit, but it'd be interesting to do a full-on carbon footprint on renewables as well as gas, not just from a what do they burn, but what is the life cycle cost from a carbon standpoint. I think that'd be very interesting. So I'm just going to throw that out to you guys who seem a lot smarter than me. Thank God. The other thing is I'd love to learn more about your ESG project. We're right now getting involved with a lot of conversations around ESG, and there might be some opportunities I think that we could maybe explore. So I connected with you LinkedIn. I'd love to learn more about it.
Let's have a jam session on that whole thing, Steve. I agree with you 100%.
Well said. That's the name of the company, Jam. You did it.
Jam session.
So how do we go about getting that off the ground so it doesn't get dropped.
I'll take a run on that one and
Right on.
try to work with. Let's do it.
Let's get her done.
Meeting. Yeah.
Love to
Excellent.
hear more about that.
Next Monday at 10 o'clock. I'm in.
10 is not good for me.
But we'll take that offline.
Okay.
But
Sure.
of course, people can be linking in with each other. Maggie and Huda, is it best that people link in with you, or what's the best way for them to contact JAM? You can put your contact information in the chat. How about that, on how to connect with JAM?
Yeah.
And Tommy, you had a question? Oh, you're on mute, I think, or I can't hear you.
Okay. Anybody else have a question while Tom's figuring out his microphone? All right. Maybe.
I have a comment.
Yep, there's a
Maggie, keep up
question.
your energy.
We
Awesome.
want to
Yeah.
tap into your energy.
Yeah, keep it up. It's awesome. It helps you get over the toughest phases in life. So please don't ever be ashamed of your energy.
That's right. That's been fantastic. There's a question from Kinetic, and then after that, I think we'll have to launch into the breakout rooms if we can manage that. Kinetic.
Hi, you mentioned that you work with a couple of students or looking to learn programming or coding and all those stuff. So do you get to work with organizations to place them, for instance, to actually get active internships, sort of paid or unpaid?
They're all paid. Every person that works with us is a paid intern. We don't do unpaid because that's not, we don't believe in volunteer experience for like work experience, but we work with an organization that already has interns, and then they pair them with us, and then it's always confirmed that they're being paid, and the organizations we work for are reputable. I've been reached out to international organizations that provide work experience, but it's unpaid. But for the most part, we work with local organizations or Canadian organizations that we always background check.
All right, I think we're going to launch some breakout rooms and then we'll come back. So if I have this right, everyone, the party's all here. So yeah, we have Bridget and Amber back. Not that I panicked them at all, but I did welcome them to join us if they could later. So perhaps Bridget took her a good time to come back. Bridget, do you want to give any closing words?
No, other than I'm sorry I missed it. Yeah, I guess maybe I will just make a little quick announcement. It is time for community announcements. Jade has asked me to share the Alberta Tech Symposium. Tickets are for sale, and like there's a lot of attendees signed up, so it should be a great event. I'll get that in the chat right away. And then if there's any other community events, sorry we missed today. Amber and I had some conflicting appointments.
I will say there's a Rainforest Connector next week. In fact, I should have put it in the chat. I will do so right away. It is how to sell to government. And there we have two great speakers from the Government of Canada that happen to be based in Calgary, but of course they really represent all of Canada. So they are giving advice on how small companies can sell to the Government of Canada, and that can be an important customer and reference for you and for future customers. So that session will be next Tuesday at 4:30, and I will go and run and get that link. So with that, I'll turn it over to anyone else for community announcements.
Quiet, never such a quiet group.
Maggie is a hard act to follow. I will just let you know.
I agree. Left us all
Steven.
speechless.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Branch Out Foundation. So we're looking for bike riders that want to loop around Lake Windermere with me. We're going to have 220 intelligent people that are highly engaged around doing non-pharmaceutical neurological research. And that's on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of summer. So join my team, go onto the Branch Out Foundation bike tour and get on the team. It'll be a lot of fun. And you don't have to be a super cyclist, by the way. I don't care if you come out there with a tricycle, we'll get you around.
I'll also add that there have been a ton of cool events being posted in our events channel on the Rainforest Slack space. I just threw one in there that's happening at Platform. Sorry, the copy paste didn't work that well, but there's a lot of exciting things happening. So, and I think an Inventures promo code for the June Inventures event for 10% discount. So make sure to check the events page for more happening. Wonderful. Thanks, Maggie. Sorry we missed you. I'll watch the recording. Thanks for coming today.
No worries. Thank you guys for having me and for the great feedback.
Yes, and Maggie and Huda, is Huda still here?
Yeah.
Any last words?
Don't drink coffee, Maggie.
Gotta watch this recording.
We want a bottle of Maggie's energy, so we can't have enough of that. We certainly loved it, right? And Maggie, you're a mechanical engineer, right?
Yes, I have 2 years left, but we'll get through them. But yeah, parting words are thank you guys for joining us today and for hearing our culture message. And if you guys have a culture that you're working on, like please take some stuff if you like it from us and put it in your culture, and then everyone will be so happy after.
Well, that's what we want. Let's do that. Huda, any last words on your side?
No, it was a pleasure to be here. I'm definitely going to see me around at future Rainforest, and I love the culture, and this is a great culture itself. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you everyone for sharing your time with us today, and thank you for being part of the Rainforest. See y'all
Thanks,
next
Gail.
week.
Have a good week.
Thanks, Gail.